Good evening. Welcome to Understanding Political Philosophy. This brief video is about understanding John Rawls's theory of justice. John Rawls first constructed his theory of justice in 1971 when the predominant paradigm in political philosophy in the Western world was utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is a philosophy that centers on the maxim of the greatest good for the greatest number. However, a simple survey throughout the world economies of mature democracies at that point in time would show quite clearly that the greatest good for the greatest number actually meant a minority of people living luxurious lives with a very large working class, and then some people living at the unemployment level. So clearly, utilitarianism was not something that was useful in John Rawls's mind. John Rawls's notion of the theory of justice is justice as fairness. He used two concepts to explain his theory. One was the original position, and the other the difference principle. The original position involved recasting oneself to a point before birth behind what he called the veil of ignorance. In other words, a person would not know his or her gender, age, social status, ethnicity, culture, religion, and so on and so forth. But that person would still be knowledgeable about things that she or he would not want to have in this world in which he would or she would or is about to be born into. In other words, that person would not want to have laws, policies, or regulations that involve poverty or discrimination against class or gender or age, for example. Bearing the veil of ignorance in mind, John Rawls then went on to describe his second concept, which is the difference principle. This is simply understood as the principle in which one would not introduce any laws into society unless they would be advantageous to the least advantaged person in that society. And this is what he went on to use in his theory of justice as fairness, in order to explain how people could live more fuller and better lives. This was in contrast to many other thinkers of today that included Milton Friedman. Milton Friedman was an economist and not a political philosopher who believed in his concept of freedom to choose. Friedman believed that the free market without government regulation would always result in the best and most capable people being rewarded. To a certain extent, he shares some similarity with Ronald Dworkin. Dworkin's notion as a libertarian political philosopher involved the concept of attaining the greatest good by one's own abilities, but having concern and care and putting in help for those who are least privileged in society. And with that, I would like to thank you for listening to Understanding Political Philosophy. Good night.